Well, you'll notice everything is pretty much the same as it was yesterday afternoon. And yeah, I had said that I was probably going to come back to the model table later and work on these things. Well, I didn't. Now, I failed to mention why it is I don't come back to the model table late in the afternoon or evening. And the main reason is, well, I'm starting to feel kind of tired, and I just don't feel like it anymore. Yeah, in the mid-afternoon I'm all gung-ho, you might say. But later in the afternoon and evening, well, I'm kind of pooped out. I'm going to have to make some changes here. Because YouTube is uploading slower, at least I think it's YouTube. It's possible that it's me. It's possible I've got something going wrong with the way I'm doing things, but I don't think so. I think that something's going on with Google YouTube. They're not talking about it. As I mentioned before, one of the other creators mentioned how he was having a problem uploading a video. Now, here's what I'm planning on doing. Not tonight or this evening. This evening's episode I'm going to have, as near as I can tell anyway, it should be ready on time, which is 5 p.m. Winnipeg time. But starting tomorrow, episode 956, I'm not going to post it until 8 p.m. Winnipeg time. That's going to be 3 hours later. Now, that would mean that people here in North America that are in, say, on the eastern side, you won't get to watch it till about 9 p.m. And if you're on the British Columbia, California side, so that would be what, another 4 hours longer? No, it'd be 2 hours difference. So it'll be at 6 o'clock. But a lot of the viewers, it's not going to make a huge difference to, unless you happen to be in the UK, and it comes out, and it's been coming up around 11 p.m. your time. Well, no, it's not going to come up till 2 in the morning. Well, I'm not expecting you to sit up till 2 in the morning to watch my episode. You're just going to have to watch it the next day. And if you're my Australian friends, well, instead of watching it first thing in the morning, you'll watch it in the mid-morning. It's not that important. It's kind of important to me, and I suppose to some of the viewers who have been following along, and you're just sort of checking in to see what the old Canadian's up to. Well, yeah, I guess it'll make a difference. But anyway, that's the plan. What is happening is, around 2 or so in the afternoon, I'm starting to get a little bit worried, a little bit uptight. And I'm thinking, I better cut this off, because I got to do the final edit to get it uploaded in time. So it'll be ready at 5. Well, I'm just going to change the time. And that way, if YouTube is slow, it'll always be at the same time. I just kind of like the idea of having you might call it my model ship show, or my diary, or whatever you want to call it, up at the same time. Anyway, so starting, not tonight, but starting tomorrow with episode 956, it will be at 8 p.m. Winnipeg time. And of course, when we go into daylight savings time, if you don't go into daylight savings time at the same time, well, then it's going to be an hour one way or the other, right? Anyway, enough about that. Let's get on with this. There's a couple of more things that I want to talk about here. One of the viewers had asked about what colors am I using. So let's just sort of recompose here, and we'll talk about the colors that I've been using, and why I don't think it's all that important. Okay, I just edited out the last little bit there, and I heard myself say that, why it's not all that important. Well, that's just my opinion. Now, it could be that you're trying to get it just right, and you want to get it as close as possible. Well, in that case, I think you should, watch the episodes that Steve in the model shed did, because I think he did a much better job of getting it accurate. I mean, he even went to the extra work of making a different aft funnel because the Trumpeter had got the funnel the wrong size. I mean, he was a real stickler for getting it right. So I think that in all likelihood, if you want to get it right, don't listen to me. But I will tell you what I used. I used the XF9 for the bottom of both the Bismarck and the Hood. And for the upper part of the hull, I used the 22. And then I used a variety of 77, 66, and 19 for the smaller parts. I'm probably going to be doing the turrets in the 22 so that they match, but I'm not sure yet. I'll see how it goes. I'm not there yet. It could be that I'm going to want them to contrast a little bit. And I'll listen to other people's opinion when we get to that place that I actually start painting the turrets. I'll listen to what people have to say, and I'm not completely stubborn. Well, maybe a little bit. Anyway, I also used the Stynylrez black and the Stynylrez gray. For I think I used the Stynylrez gray on the railings, didn't I? On the Bismarck. So as long as you don't have it looking like a Carnival cruise ship or something like that, you don't, and you don't have to use, there's Tamiya and all these other paint manufacturers. They make a variety of grays. As long as you get it, generally speaking, right, it's probably gonna look good once you get it mounted in its case. But it may not be accurate. Like I say, if you want accuracy, don't go by what I'm telling you, because I'm just doing sort of what I think's going to look good. Oh, one thing I do want to mention at this point is that I found, I think at the beginning of the Bismarck, I was mixing paints, trying to get a shade, and then when I go to remix it, I couldn't get it exactly right. So I came to the conclusion, now this was just for me, stick to the color. In other words, don't blend. That's just my opinion. And that way, when you go to this number 77 is going to look the same as this number 77. Now, I know that I've heard that sometimes Tamiya will change the color a little bit, and the 77 from 5 years ago might not be the same as the 77 from this year. Now, I've only heard that. I have not experienced that. My experience has been that the colors are pretty consistent. I have not noticed any difference. Anyway, that's it for the colors. Okay, now what I want to talk about is the fifth gun. Like, we're working on these UP guns, and you're gonna hear in the next little episode, or insert rather, that I've already made, by the way. I made it early this morning. You're going to hear that I had called them. Well, let's just watch it. Okay, I'm trying something a little bit new here. I'm hoping you can see my mouse moving around at the top of the screen. And anyway, we are here in step 68. And yesterday I had said something about if you know where the fifth gun goes. Oh, by the way, I found out they're not exactly what I thought they were. I think I was calling them rocket launchers or something like that yesterday. Well, that was not right. They are something, I think they're called UP guns. I've since Googled it and found out exactly what they were. I'm not going to go into it, but what I want to do is I want to thank Mark telling us where the other one goes. And so I checked the manual here this morning, and if we go ahead to step, where is it here? All right, not step 74. I went too far. Step 73. Down in step 73, you can see here where it goes on the top of this gun. Now, where Trumpeter made their mistake is, I guess, and thought there was only supposed to be 4 of these things, is that they didn't actually label it. Now, they did show the arrow of one of these going down. So I guess a person could have caught that. I don't know if I would have caught it or not. If I had have only made 4, I might have wondered, well, what is this extra gun here? It doesn't have a label on it. But anyway, I might have figured it out, because after all, there was parts for 6. Anyway, it goes on this gun here, which I believe Mark called the B gun, or number 2, as the Trumpeter calls it. Main gun number 2. You can see it down here. Anyway, there was something else I wanted to show you here while we were in this. Oh yeah, when we get over to step 74 and start dropping down the parts, you can see where these guns go. Here's one. Here's another one. It goes right here. Here's another. Goes on the other side, right here. And then here's the 4th one. It goes right here. But it does not show the 5th one being dropped right here, which is pretty hard to see. If you have to zoom right in on the drawing, and you can kind of see it here, but it's not real clear. Anyway, thank you, Mark. Thank you very much. It's really nice when viewers that know what they're talking about comment and let us know. Earlier this morning when I first got up, I checked my surveillance system, and I wanted to see how are the carrots faring. And they fared. There was still some left when I first got up, but it wasn't very long, and the very last nibble was taken. At least I thought it was the last nibble, so I went out and took a picture. Anyway, I have found out what it is that is liking the real rabbit food. And it's not a rabbit. Now, just in case somebody's thinking that when I'm sitting here in the morning checking my surveillance system that I'm wasting a whole lot of model building time. Well, not really. I pre-select an area, and when a rabbit sticks his head in the area, which is marked in red, it kind of lets you know, and you only watch the areas where there's been motion, you might say. It's you just sort of view along the timeline. I'm pretty sure a lot of you already know how that goes. Okay, all our parts are trimmed off here now. Didn't take that long, actually. Now, before I start gluing some of these things together, like the 21, 22, and 23s, I think we should maybe form one of the photo etch pieces so we sort of can see how this module, after it's done, fits inside this one. Now these ones here, I think they can go ahead and be made up. And okay. All right, it looks like this piece gets stuck on the end right there. Maybe I'll just reposition here. What time we got here? 12 minutes after 1. You know what? I think I'm going to just call this episode quits, even though we haven't actually done very much on the model ship itself. Well, maybe I can just quickly see how this piece is going to fit on the side of that. There has been a lot of nice detail molded into the side of that. You can see what appears to be a little hatch that you'd lift up, probably to store stuff, or who knows. I shouldn't speculate like that. Alright. Now this piece here, yeah, you can see how that's sort of, you might say it's kind of keyed. Alright. See if I can get this now to go in. Yeah, that locks into place real nice. I think probably the Tamiya extra thin will work really well for that. Then afterwards, if there's any squeeze out, I can sand it off all around the edges, and there probably will be. Do we have time to do that? What time we got now? 19 minutes after 1. Okay. I know I'm very conscious of the time, aren't I? Alright, where's my extra thin here? Alright, now, how am I going to position this? Maybe I got the wrong tweezers for that. Yeah, I should get something that's a little bit thinner. Here, these ones will fit in nice. Okay, now if I hold this like this, put a little pressure on. Okay, pretty sure that's going to stick. Yeah, that's going to be all right. Okay, folks, I think that's it for today. Thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow. And remember, tomorrow, it isn't going to post until 8 p.m. Winnipeg time. In other words, 3 hours later. And we'll just see how it goes. You know, I'm not saying we're not going to go back. Anyway, thanks for watching.